Okay.
It's a month before the school trip, and a group of Year 9s and their parents have gathered for an evening meeting at Chessington Community College.
We'll be going off site, as I said, to
Alan Lammas, Director of Sport, is leading the trip.
We're there. We're going right up there. It's a heck of a journey. It's about 6.5 hours by coach, hence leaving at 7 o'clock in the morning. We're going up here, up just on the edge of the Lake District. We go up and round through Kendal and back down the other side.
The trip's heavily subsidised with City Challenge funding to enable children from all backgrounds to take part. Many have never been outside London.
So many of the children at this college come from the urban environment and the inner city environment, and it's important, I think, for them to get out and find out that we have got mountains, hills, rivers and lakes, and that's the experience I want them to have at least once while they're at the college.
During their trip to the Lake District, the group is staying at Castle Head at Grange-over-Sands, a 130-bed residential centre run by the Field Studies Council.
The moment we arrived, the students were extremely impressed with the building and the environment.
When you look out the window, you see lots of green and stuff, and you're just like, oh wow, it just looks like the middle of nowhere. And then you start seeing different animals and different buildings, and it just really starts to hit you that you're not in London anymore.
I think they were quite amazed at the scenery. Most of them had never seen this environment before, living on the outskirts of London. They love it.
I've never been anywhere like this before, so lots of things have surprised me, like, yeah, the sheep a lot, because I didn't know they just roam around like freely. I thought it'd be like in a big farm.
Staying for a week in an unfamiliar environment is part of the learning experience.
We just went to breakfast and we had to make our lunch after the day, and now we have to go back to our rooms and get ready to go out.
So we've got Group 1 and now Gill Scramble, and Group 2 will do canoeing, and then reverse the afternoon session.
That's right, and the canoeing's at Coniston.
The 5-day course is billed as an eco-adventure. The various activities on offer, such as climbing and canoeing, provide the pupils with much more than a physical challenge.
More and more so, we're finding that teachers like it to relate to the curriculum. So rather than just going away for 5 days of activities, we can still do that. We can offer those activities, that sort of high adventure activities, but we're finding more teachers are asking us to actually try and use that as a way of providing a better understanding of the environment and to hit some curriculum targets. The natural ones are obviously within geography and ecology and biology and science, but there's also elements of PSHE, citizenship, even some mathematics and English comes into it.
The first activity of the morning is gill scrambling. But before the physical activity, an explanation of the word gill and how the local landscape was formed.
It's actually a Norse word, an old Scandinavian word for a mountain stream in the north of England. This gill is actually called church beck. Yeah? A beck is another word, northern word for a stream. I'd like you to imagine that this is a mountain, yeah? A big mountain landscape. And this is a big chunk of ice, a glacier. And over time, the glacier is going to move over the land and erode it away. And this is the kind of shape it makes. Over time, it's going to move it, and then we're going to get global warming, and the glaciers will retreat, and that's kind of the shape of the valleys that are in the Lake District.
The students are surprised at what's expected of them.
As soon as they got there, they were amazed that they were actually getting into the mountain stream. They didn't think that it was possible. The reaction is fairly usual for a group who's never been into a gill or seen a mountain stream or come to the English Lake District.
The group was led by Pablo, who's obviously very experienced, and within minutes you could see the confidence developing and the belief that they could actually do it.
All right, we have a choice, ladies and gentlemen, we have a choice, yeah? We can either go up the dry route, or if you really want to challenge yourself, we can go up the waterfall.
I was able to sort of bring up the rear of the group and encourage those who are lagging behind. But he was very, very good with the students. He knew the level to pitch it at.
They don't believe that they can do these things, and once they actually realise that they can, they thoroughly get into it, involved, and you could see right from the very start that they were helping each other, turning around, encouraging each other positively. Good guys, good! Love it!
The confidence and the teamwork together, lifting each other up great big rocks in waterfalls, was amazing, and this is what it's all about.
I need a brave volunteer. Dave, had his hand up first. Dave, I'd like you to go stand on the rock where Ellie is. Cross your hands over your chest and turn around. We're going to give you a count to 3.
Scramble, and we just done this thing where we had to fall back off a rock into a pool, and it was really fun, but it's really cold.
Learning about the local geography and geology is an important element of the activity.
There was a lot of environmental input from Pablo, looking at the rock structures and how the gill was formed. It gave the activity a different dimension, so it wasn't just walking up at a gill getting soaking wet in rocks. There was a lot of environmental and geographical information.
Remember what I said about those rocks grinding against each other? If you look carefully, you can actually see these large boulders, these large rocks here, that have created these toilet shapes in the stream bed. Do you see that?
We use the activities, the kind of to produce the awe and wonder, and then within that we would try and encourage them to think about the environment. So for instance, when we're looking at a gill scramble, we get them to think about how the gill was formed, the processes operating in the gill, so the processes of abrasion, attrition, and some of the features that those processes have formed, like a V-shaped valley. So rather than seeing it from afar, the fact that they actually get into that stream, that channel, and then they follow it up, we really try and use that to bring home the environmental element of it.
What's happened to the stream? It's eroded this, yep, definitely, but what's happened to the stream now? Where's the water gone? Down the bottom. Why?
I like the climbing stuff because you work in a team and everyone helps each other, like pulling each other up. I've never been anywhere like this before.
It was much more difficult than I thought it would be. It was very exciting. It's way better than being at the PlayStation back at home.
Came out, everyone's smiling, everyone's beaming. Like, got through all of that, a huge waterfall. It's awesome, wicked.
On 3, 1, 2, 3! Yeah! Perfect.
While Alan and his group have been gill scrambling, the rest of the pupils from Chessington have been busy facing other challenges.
We've spent the last 2 hours canoeing on Lake Coniston. It was pretty much teaching them basic manoeuvres, how the boats operate. Of course, teamwork plays a big part of it, because if someone's not pulling their weight, the boat will go around in circles. But most people picked up really, really quickly.
Over the course of the week, everyone gets a go at all the activities. Now it's Group 1's turn on the lake.
Hold your paddle with your bottom hand near the flat bit, okay, near the flat bit, with the thumb pointing upwards.
What we're trying to do is use the activities as a vehicle for the environmental understanding. So the canoeing, for instance, they're there to learn about canoeing, but there's also that geographical element to it. So we get them to think about how the lake was formed, for instance, some of the past processes, and link it into sort of glaciation, so you've got the geography element there. And then you've got the PE element, because they're actually doing a sport, they're active.
This is actually harder than it.
One of the activities we do is sea level traversing. This involves moving sideways along a sea cliff a few metres above the shoreline. And the idea of this is really to get the students to really improve their self-confidence. But as well as that, we try and use it as a forum to think about geology as one of the things. So why are some rocks easier to climb and scramble over than other rocks, and it's all to do with their formation and the processes involved within their formation and how they've been worn down and eroded by the sea.
During all the activities, the accompanying teachers hand the leadership role over to the centre's experienced instructors.
Again, you see the cliff that goes all the way around the bottom? Yeah?
During the activities, the instructor takes the lead role, and the teachers, we very much encourage them to partake in the activity, but to have a back seat. The instructors will lead the activity, they will give all the necessary instructions to the teachers, they will be responsible for the health and safety, they will be responsible for reviewing the session and making sure it's going well.
Right, ready? Big jump. Big jump. Yeah, you can made it, you see?
Both students and teachers find they benefit from spending time together away from the school environment.
It's very different on a trip like this. The students see a different side to the staff, and we also see a different side to them. The students are very, very enthusiastic towards the activities that we're undertaking.
Already, I can see just how much difference it has made to the pupils. You see them in school, you may see them 2 hours a week, and it's quite limited. To see them in this environment with this sort of interaction between one another and between them and us, it's been really positive.
Away from familiar school life, it's new territory for everyone.
All these sort of activities, particularly climbing and abseiling, really pushes them outside of their comfort zone. It just means they have to trust themselves, they have to trust the equipment, they have to trust the people who are helping them. I'm really impressed, actually. It's good to see them. It's good to see them facing their fears.
It's really, really scary. On the way down, because you don't feel safe when you're leaning back on the rope.
But the trip's not all about challenges. There's an understanding here that for young teenagers, letting go and having fun is beneficial too.
I find at this age group, they learn how to play again. They've forgotten a lot of those skills, how to just be themselves instead of having this front, this gangster attitude even sometimes. And they learn how to play, playing in puddles, watching rain, just running around, and not caring about their sort of street image.
I haven't been in the canoe before, but today was like a good experience for doing it the first time, with the oars and working as a team.
Well, we're very wet, but overall it's been really good fun. Very excited about the days ahead of us.
This group of children are really going to benefit from the activities they've done this week. Their confidence is going to grow. They are going to believe in themselves. We saw earlier the children actually in the gill scrambling. They were very tentative. They were scared. It was slippery. Once they started, they could see they could do it. And that really is a life skill. They know if they can believe they can do that gill scrambling, they can actually have that positive mental attitude to all sorts of things in life, including exams.
Well, I think that the benefits of a trip like this are immense. The experience of being out in the countryside, in the Lake District, they're likely not to get this experience unless we provide it for them.